Now, I've never been much of a fan of the competitive Magic scene. Why is it? Well, because it seems like every major event has a major controversy with cheating involved. Even this past weekend, the very thought of Alex Bertoncini making the top 8 made everyone automatically accuse the man of cheating without any evidence. Do I defend Alex Bertoncini? No. But look, if you're going to give someone a 6-month ban or a 1-month ban, 1-year ban, and you're going to allow them to come back, then you have to give them a clean slate. I choose to have the same view on, for example, the Zach Jesse case. The man should never have been banned from Magic the Gathering after never breaking a single rule. A man that had done his time and was punished simply by an outraged mob, something I can certainly relate to. Now, it's not like Alex Bertoncini had posted Pepe memes or something awful like that. So a pro gets caught cheating, they get banned. Happens all the time. This is why I don't give a shit about competitive Magic the Gathering, because there's always the specter of guilt around anybody who wins. You automatically have to assume they cheated because it happens so often. Now, I've been on record as saying I really wish there was a better way to have high-level competitive play, and hopefully Magic Arena, even though I believe it's been stillborn, has some option for this, because it sucks. But we're talking about the Hall of Fame. It's a weird thing that the Magic community does to celebrate pro players, and in some cases commentators, people who are important to the game. Unlike, for example, pro sports, you can be voted into the Hall of Fame while still being an active player. I guess it's probably the best that you can do, given, really, there's not a lot preventing you from, playing Magic a long term. People can play Magic as long as they can, think straight for the most part. So, I guess. It's weird to me to have a Hall of Famer still playing, but whatever. But the interesting thing that they've done this year is that they've completely discredited it. It is an event that is voted on by people close to around the game. But now they've just opened it up to anybody, friends of players, wives of pro players, content creators that go months without creating a single piece of content. It is absolutely absurd. And before you go down the road, but Jeremy, people vote for the Pro Football Hall of Fame who never played the game. Fine. Totally fine with people that cover the game for a living, cover the sport for a living, getting a vote. That is not the case here. They did not give it to people that are, for example, beat writers that have covered the Magic the Gathering Pro Tour for 20 years. They gave it to content creators and people who are sleeping with pro players. What? What were they thinking? Do they not have enough votes? Do they think, boy, let me bring in the Manosaurus, really get his opinion on what a pro player should and shouldn't be doing? Should they come up for the Pro Tour? Now, of course you would give a vote to the Manosaurus, given that he's been covering Pro Magic for, never. And this is also how he talks about pro players openly on Twitter. If you've seen the way Alex plays, it's even worse. He plays incredibly quickly and sloppily. He rushes opponents through their turns, cuts corners, does things before asking permission. None of these things can I refute. I don't cover Pro Magic. I know he's been caught cheating twice, but there's a list as long as my arm of pro players that got caught cheating. But this guy, who has been bestowed the illustrious honor of voting somebody into the Magic Hall of Fame, finishes with, he is the quintessential douchebag Magic player. Now that is a hot take. That is the kind of take that I want somebody having when they have a vote for the Magic Hall of Fame. Somebody who will call somebody a cheater with no evidence, right? Go on and on and on and on. Chances Bertuccini cheated his way to the top 8? 100%. No evidence, but you're disparaging a pro player. And he goes on and on and on. And you have, let's see, Athena. Never played competitive Magic. Not really an important content creator. Doesn't cover the pro Magic Tour scene. Has some part-time job inside the company. Sure, give her a vote for the Pro Tour Hall of Fame. I mean, what? If Wizards is trying to have any credibility with being selected to the Magic the Gathering Hall of Fame, they just gave it all up. They just gave it all up because why? Why would you give votes to these people? I mean, I don't understand. These are people, again, who don't cover the game. They just know the right people, right? They know the right people or they blow the right people, in my opinion. If you can, for example, give me an example of how I'm wrong, I'd be open to listening to it. Let's look at the eligibility to be on the ballot for the Hall of Fame. The player must have participated in his or her first Magic the Gathering Pro Tour at least 10 seasons prior to the current voting year. That means you have to have been playing Pro Magic for a decade, okay? A decade. The player must have 150 lifetime Pro Tour points. The player must have at least 2 single elimination round finishes in the Pro Tour. The player must not be currently suspended from Magic the Gathering, or under investigation. The player must not currently be removed from ballot by the voting committee. If they are currently removed by the ballot, they must finish with at least 4 Pro Tour points between and previous current ballot. The selection committee, they say. The committee includes Wizards of the Coast employees, DCI members. Now, this is the competitive overseeing agency for the competitive Magic scene. Judges, longtime reporters, developers, and other Hall of Famers. Nowhere in here does it say random random Twitter personalities who don't even follow the Pro Tour. Or YouTubers that haven't made a video in 2 months and never ever covered competitive Magic on their channel. And this is just 2 of, I'm assuming, many people completely undeserving of a Pro Tour Hall of Fame vote. Every Magic player with at least 150 pro points can also vote. Totally fine. Every member of the selection committee gets a vote for up to 5 eligible players. Afterwards, each player with at least 60% of the votes gets inducted into the Hall of Fame. Seems reasonable. You get guaranteed entry to any Pro Tour event and Magic World Cup qualifiers. You get cash appearance fees at Pro Tours featuring the yearly Hall of Fame induction. You also get buys in the Grand Prix and World Magic Cup qualifiers. And you also get additional Magic Online Championship Series seasonal QPs or winning points. You're talking about real money. You're talking about the likes of John Finkel in the Pro Tour Hall of Fame, Kai Buddha Pro Tour Hall of Fame, Mike Turian, you have Brian Kibler, you have Eric Froelich in the Hall of Fame. But thankfully, Eric Froelich's wife has a Pro Tour vote now. Yes, she does. Eric Froelich's wife does have a vote in the Pro Tour Hall of Fame selection. Now, if you want to just call it a popularity contest, then just call it that. But if you're going to let basically people with effectively no knowledge of the Pro Tour, no knowledge of competitive play, no history of competitive play, no history of covering competitive play, no content around competitive play, vote for the Hall of Fame? How the hell do you think the pro players feel about this? How do you think the pro players feel like when they have to impress Wedge, who hasn't made a video in months, to earn his vote? Do you think he's going to make an educated decision on who gets his vote for the Pro Tour? How about Athena? Do you think she's going to make a really educated decision? Maybe she'll just ask her husband who should get in. I'm not saying she doesn't cover Magic the Gathering. She's been around the community. She made like 2 videos on it. But it's absurd that you would have people that have nothing to do with competitive Magic. I would rather cameramen or women from the Pro Tour, I would rather commentators from the Pro Tour have votes. What is this? This is nothing more than more nepotism out of Wizards of the Coast, and now delegitimizes future Pro Tour votes, because you have influencers out there who have a vote and can sway other people to vote, right? What if Manosaurus decides to make a video to stump for his buddy that he wants to make into the Pro Tour? Nothing stopping him, right? What if that has the potential to sway other people's votes? Now, there's enough people in the voting pool that this likely doesn't have a gigantic outcome change, but I just think it's pretty sad and pretty indicative of where Wizards of the Coast heads are at right now. What do you think about people who have really no experience, no competitive play, no long history of covering competitive play? What do you think about them getting votes to decide whether or not competitive players reach the highest echelon in Magic competitive play, and that is the Hall of Fame, thus guaranteeing them cash payouts for life? Be interested to read your comments in the comment section down below.